Hi, welcome to the Hollywood Highway, the fastest way to get you inside Hollywood. I'm your host, Ada Woolfolk. We're broadcasting from the 2013 Media Access Awards, a celebration of people in the industry who advance the opportunities and employment of people with disabilities.
This is such a special event, and it's so important that people with disabilities are shown more in the media. And the fact that we got to do that with a couple of the characters in Silver Linings Playbook was a real honor. And the response that we got from the mental health community, both for people who have had mental disabilities and also from their families and friends about the film, was really extraordinary and very moving to us.
Well, I think it's a recognition for Game of Thrones, the show, and I think everybody on the show is very, very pleased by it. The Song of Ice and Fire books, on which Game of Thrones is based, I have a cast of thousands. I can show people of all sorts in all different roles. They're people with a disability, people of different races, of different ages, of different genres. All of us have good in us, all of us have evil in us, all of us have strengths and weaknesses.
It means a whole lot to me. I really love Media Access Awards, and it means a whole lot to me.
I always look forward to the Media Access Awards. It's one of my favorite events, and it's one of my favorite award ceremonies to go to. It really is a very special time for all of us to come together and get recognized, and recognize all the hard work that all of us do, that we do in television and in film, and I'm sure there's much more to come.
My oldest son has epilepsy, and so, I want him to have an equal opportunity to do anything he wants in his life, and it should never be a hindrance. It should be something that makes him special and makes him, stand out. And, everybody's got something. That's the thing, that the message that is so important, and one that we tell Jake on a constant basis is, buddy, everybody's got something, whether you can see it or not. So everyone's dealing with something, and we need to understand that, be respectful of it, and like you said, be inclusive. There's no reason to exclude anyone from doing anything.
It's an amazing honor because Harold Russell was the first disabled actor to win an Academy Award, and it's really nice that SAG and AFTRA are giving me this opportunity. There was amazing people that my predecessors to this award. I'm giving you my acceptance speech of this right now, pretty much. Oh, it was amazing. I love the way Vince and the writers, they wrote my character, because my character wasn't a disabled character. My character, as anyone with a disability, you are just as normal as anyone else. You live your life, you try to get through it day by day, and you try to deal with the complications and tribulations that happen along the way. And that's exactly what you saw. You saw a character living a life. And that's all that matters, and that's all you can hope for. And the way Vince wrote it, and it was actually in memory of a friend of Vince's, which is even more of an honor. And I hope he likes what I did, and I hope he likes everything that I brought to Junior.
I really did watch him grow up in a lot of ways, and the relationship that we developed, it's strange over all those years. You do start to feel a little bit like a real mother and son in a way, and I'm incredibly proud of him. I think he's one of the brightest young men I've ever met.
It is so nice to be here to help recognize someone who has been my television son for 6 years, and who I've actually come to think of as my real son in many ways. I was really impressed with RJ from the very beginning. I remember doing a scene with him during Breaking Bad's first season, and the scene was a very emotional one, and I had to gear myself up to cry every time before they called action. And RJ and I were standing in this cramped hospital set hallway with the usual last-minute hustle and bustle going on, lights being set around us and crew members running around. And when RJ turned and he saw tears running down my face, he intuitively stood very close to me, as if protecting me. And he put his arm around me, And he did this take after take after take. And I remember thinking that RJ had the instinct of a very fine actor and an even finer human being.
I thank you all so much, and thank you. I'm sure all of you know, but Harold Russell was the first disabled actor to win an Academy Award, and it's really amazing that SAG and AFTRA have acknowledged me with this, and the people that have won this award, and Marlee Matlin, and Danny Woodburn, and Lauren Potter, and I just thank you all so much.
I want to thank the Media Access Awards. I want to thank the Writers Guild of America West. This is a huge honor. It really is. You don't set out to do these things. It's also with this in mind, but it's also very strange because basically I'm being honored for showing the world that a person with disabilities can be an asshole. But I mean it. I mean, that is what we do as writers when we do it well, I think. We show that we are all the same. We show the commonality, and we don't take a relatable person, an obviously relatable person, to make them relatable. We show differences and show that we're all the same.
Aren't we lucky to have Norman Lear and Fern Field here today? These are two very special people who came together in the 70s, realizing that we needed to do more for inclusion of people with disabilities in the media so we could change the way society deals with people with disabilities.
Norman will always be like a second father to me. He opened the doors for me initially. Being the first, and overnight my life changed.
Yes.
It was amazing because kids before that point were afraid of me. And then all of a sudden, kids were coming up to me and asking me for my autograph. So it was an amazing thing to have happened socially.
It's not the worst case I've seen of cerebral palsy. Friends of mine have a son about 17 who also suffers from the disease. He's in a wheelchair, he moves his arms spastically, and his face is in a kind of a perpetual yawn. I saw that in you a long time ago. He makes these guttural sounds that are meant to be words, and they are indeed words to people who know him well. And I was at a bat mitzvah recently with his family and had just met this young man who was in his chair. And the host, the bat mitzvah parent, walked in, and the kid obviously adored him, and his face lit up. And I watched that face as the boy attempted to talk to him, and I thought I was looking at the soul of the universe. As I watched the little scene unfold, I was overwhelmed with the thought that this boy was the physical manifestation of our struggle, everybody's struggle. It's hard to be a human being. And then it's harder to be a human being with disability. And I'm not offering that as a negative. This, I think, is what life is. That journey, hopefully, to all of the answers. If one could sketch the human struggle and bring it to life, it would be that young man in the wheelchair, fighting so hard to connect with everybody, who is walking and talking and moving with everyone whose lives are going, and he wants to go. And the fact is, he is. We're all going. Thank you so much.